and welcome to this, my final video for Anti-Bullying Week 2014. If you haven't seen any of my previous videos, well, pop over to my channel. There's quite a variety of them there. And if you have been watching them, well, thank you very much. And thank you for everyone who's participated. This final video, we're looking at books, storybooks that deal with the subject of bullying. And I've got this one here by Anne Fine. This is one I've shared with classes in previous years. It's a really great read. It's about a group of children at primary school are having a pretty hard time, and then this girl turns up, this angel turns up, and well, find out what happens. Anyway, for this purpose, I've got three super booktubers who've been reviewing books, and well, enjoy.
Hi, I'm Sarah, and today I'm going to be talking about Wonder by R.J. Palacio. This is the beautiful yet simple story of a young boy called August, or Augie for short, and he was born with severe facial disfigurements. He has been homeschooled all of his life, sheltered, shielded from the judging eyes of other children in school, because we all know sometimes how cruel children can be, especially to people who are visibly different to them. But Augie feels that he is ready to go to school. He wants to go and face school and experience everything that that has to offer, so his parents reluctantly have to let him face that adventure alone. The story is told from multiple perspectives of Augie himself, his sister, his friends, and also some passive-aggressive emails between parents and the head teacher. Those different perspectives are what makes this so honest. You witness the initial reaction and the guilt to that reaction that people have. His sister's guilt at sort of not really wanting people in her new school to know that Augie is her little brother, because she wants to be known for who she is and not just for being the sister of that kid that looks different. We don't really get a clear description of what Augie looks like, and that is in itself very clever, because we don't then picture him in our minds. We don't focus on the looks. We get to focus on the effects those looks have on him and the people around him. Augie is lucky that at school he does manage to find people who eventually become very good friends of his, but even they don't find the friendship easy. Many of the kids in his class don't understand. They are mean without meaning to be mean. They call him a monster. Some of them are afraid to touch him because they don't understand, or they say that they're afraid of sort of catching the ugly. And then there's Julian, who is downright mean and is a bully, both emotionally and physically. This book questions what is being kind and what is being mean, what is being a bully, and whether being a bystander, maybe not engaging, maybe not taking part in the bullying, if you don't stand up for that person, you're part of the problem. Even his friends sometimes get drawn into saying things that are mean by the people around them. The pack mentality. If everyone is saying something, then they don't want to mark themselves out as different or as a victim. And it's all those kind of questions that are tackled in this book, and that is one of the very, very big reasons why I am so happy that this book has been adopted by so many schools around the world. This is being read to thousands of children in classrooms around the world, and is becoming a huge educational tool, if you like, because it really does make children think. And I am a grown-up, and it made me think. It made me think about the way that I react to people who perhaps look different or behave in a different way to what I am comfortable with, what I'm used to. And I honestly, genuinely can say that this book has changed the way that I react when I'm around people like that. This book forces you to think and to empathise, and therefore be kinder. Like I said, it's had a huge impact on me, and I gave it 5 stars. I could find no fault with it. I adore this book. It is filled with many quotable sections, very inspirational stuff, but there's one quote that I'm going to leave you with. When given the choice between being right and being kind, choose kind.
Hi, Hi, it's Megan Olivier, and the book that I am going to be talking about is Everybody Sees the Ants by A.S. King. Up until like the halfway point of this book, I was like, this book is okay, it's pretty good, but I don't really see what all the fuss is about. And then it got to this point, like halfway through the book, and I was like, whoa, things just got crazy. I would definitely give it at least 4 out of 5 stars. So this is a contemporary novel, but it has a few little fantasy supernatural sort of twists to it. It is about a boy called Lucky Lindemann, and his grandfather was in the Vietnam War, but he never came back. He was a prisoner of war, and then no one knows what happens to him. They never found his body. And Lucky is quite unpopular at school. He's quite unhappy. He's quite a nerdy, skinny sort of guy, and he is bullied, physically bullied, by this guy called Nada, I think that's how you say his name, I'm not sure. It was also a realistic look at how parents and teachers can really not be all that helpful, because even for me, I wasn't like bullied really badly, I was just picked on a little bit. The teachers were just terrible. They just didn't know what to do, and they just couldn't fix anything, and nothing was ever sorted out. So it definitely suggests that schools and parents need to do more to try and stop this from happening. Particularly schools, seen as most of the time at school where these things tend to happen. That's because nobody wants to be there. School just needs to go. Let's get rid of school. That's a good plan. So because his life at home isn't that great and his life at school isn't that great, Lucky kind of escapes from his real life world into this dream world where he goes to rescue his grandfather in the jungle in Vietnam, which is just such an amazing concept. And I think the Vietnam dreams and daydreams definitely made this book really, really unique. But it did kind of annoy me sometimes because I really wanted to read about Lucky's real life, but luckily the Vietnam bits were only really short. Lucky as a character I really enjoyed reading about because I could definitely relate to him. I was never physically bullied, I was only ever teased and picked on a bit and felt a little bit weird and out of place at high school. Luckily I was never physically bullied like this, because what Lucky goes through is awful, and it kind of reminds me of the bullies in Let the Right One In. The bullying in that film made me feel sick. I saw that film in the cinema and it was just hideous. Also, Lucky kind of reminded me of one of the protagonists in John Green's novels. Like, John Green normally has these kind of slightly nerdy, skinny guys. I think overall, if you enjoy John Green, you'll definitely enjoy this book. All of the characters were really well developed. Everything about them was justified. There was a reason for every aspect of their personality, for every little quirk that they had. There is also a love interest in this book called Ginny, and she kind of reminded me a little bit of Alaska. So again, if you like John Green novels, I think you might enjoy this one. I also really liked how this book had quite short chapters. I just really love short chapters in general because it means that I can think to myself, I'll just read one more chapter, and then before I know it, I've just finished the whole book. And also, as I said, I just love the way this book kind of blurs the line between contemporary and fantasy. Like, sometimes in his dreams, Lucky will bring back something like a playing card or a stick of chewing gum, and those objects must actually exist because his mother found a box of them. In general, this book just makes you think so much, and although I hate over-analysing books, I can definitely imagine spending a lot of time analysing aspects within this book. Everything connects together so well, and it's such a well thought out novel, which is really cool because A.S. King is actually one of those authors who does not plan. She just sits down and writes, and she doesn't even know what's going to happen at the end of a novel when she starts it. So I hope you guys all enjoyed my little review. I would definitely recommend that you check out this book. Bye!
Hi, my name's Daisy, and today I am doing a spoiler-free review of Geek Girl by Holly Smale. Geek Girl follows the story of Harriet Manners, who knows a lot of facts, which you'll always find out when she's feeling a little bit awkward. There's a lot of facts. She is also considered a geek. Her best friend dreams of being a model. The last thing you expect is her best friend's dreams to become Harriet's reality. She's thrown into the world of high fashion very unexpectedly. But the glamorous lights of fame doesn't change her popularity at school. There's a bully at her school called Alexis, and she is Harriet's nemesis. She does everything she can to make Harriet's life hell. She is the bully that unfortunately a lot of us experienced at school. You can relate to Harriet's character in this book, especially because of the bullying side and the fact that she is quite geeky as well. And I'm stating now that there is nothing wrong with being geeky or nerdy or being different, because the things that make us different make us us. One of the things that makes Harriet an open target is her intelligence, and I can speak from experience here. When I was in primary school and secondary school, I got picked on for my intelligence, and I was called boffin and nerd and geek and many awful things that I don't really want to repeat. The one thing I really love about this book, especially as it is catered to younger audiences, Holly Smale really makes sure she hammers in home that it's okay to be different and it's okay to embrace what the things that make you, and you can turn into this strong individual that is able to deal with bullying better, and as long as you have a friend that's beside you or you have an adult, you can tackle the issue of bullying because you're with other people who understand what is going on. And bullying isn't always just physical, it's verbally in this case for Harriet. Holly Smale created a really vibrant, creative and downright funny world in this novel. The humour made me laugh and smile several times. It's also engaging to older readers, so it's not just an 11+ novel. There's a quote in this that always makes me smile. Never mind Annabelle, I think it must be her time of the month. You know, when she turns into a werewolf. The teenage characters and the adult characters both made me laugh. They are all great, and the way they've been created, I just love them. I would love to meet them in person. If you enjoyed the Georgia Nicholson books when you were younger, you will definitely like this book. Equally, if you like this book, go check out the Georgia Nicholson books. Works both ways. I did also enjoy seeing the stumbles that Harriet has to go through with the fact of high fashion, because if you're not anything to do with anything fashionable, it's going to be incredibly hard to go into this massive world where you're meant to be striking a pose that you're not 100% sure you can do. Obviously, because it's spoiler free, I can't really delve into the further things that happen in this book. However, I would say definitely pick it up because I really enjoyed it, and it's just one of my favourite books now. It's gone into the heart of the daisy, and I just love it. Also, if you're a parent watching this video, it has no swearing in it, so it might be suitable for your child, which is always great. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and happy reading. Bye bye!